All right, let's jump right in. We are going to tackle one of the biggest, and I mean biggest, challenges we all face today: how to reclaim our focus in a world that is literally designed to steal it from us. Does this hit close to home? I want to study, but my mind betrays me. It's like this silent, secret confession from students absolutely everywhere. You know the feeling. You sit down, you've got all the best intentions, but your own mind feels like an enemy, just wandering off every few minutes. Here's the thing. You are not alone, and this is not a personal failure. See, our brains are caught in this chemical tug of war. The world around us is constantly feeding us what you could call fast dopamine. You know, those super quick hits from social media likes, those endless reels, and all the little thrills. But real learning, the deep, satisfying kind, that runs on slow dopamine. We're being trained to crave fireworks, which makes it incredibly hard to appreciate the steady, warm flame of actual learning.
So what's the solution? Well, what if it's not some new app or trendy productivity hack? What if the answer is actually an ancient code, a time-tested framework for totally mastering your mind?
This is the Vidyarthi Panch Lakshanam. It's a 5-fold code for students. And listen, this isn't some dusty, abstract philosophy. You should think of it as a practical, almost like a neuroscientific toolkit, specifically designed to forge an unbreakable focus. The code kicks off with 2 incredibly powerful principles, and they're modeled on the animal kingdom. They teach us about the 2 pillars of focus: effort and concentration. First up, Kākachesta. This translates to effort like a crow, and it's not about big, heroic, all-night study sessions. No, it's about something way more powerful: patient, sharp, and relentless consistency. Just picture it for a second. A crow doesn't try to swallow a whole field of grain at once, right? It pecks, one single grain at a time, with this incredible focus, until the job is done. It's a total masterclass in breaking down a huge task into tiny, manageable bites. And this is where that ancient wisdom lines up perfectly with modern science. Today, we call this exact thing microfocus. Facing a massive textbook, just focus on one paragraph. A huge project, just complete one tiny task. Every one of those small wins builds momentum and literally rewires your brain for success.
Now, the second principle builds right on top of this one: Bakadhyāna, or concentration like a crane. And this is all about learning what to ignore.
Think about a crane in the water. It is surrounded by movement, by literally countless small, uninteresting fish swimming all around it. But it stands perfectly still, its focus is absolute, and it's waiting only for the one fish that matters. I mean, it is the physical embodiment of selective attention. For us, those little fish are the notifications, the open browser tabs, the constant what-ifs. Bakadhyāna is the ultimate antidote to that fear of missing out, to FOMO. It is a conscious, deliberate choice to go for depth over a shallow, unsatisfying variety of distractions. So, we've covered the mind's output. That's the effort and the focus. But what about the input? The code now turns to what powers this whole system: how we rest and how we fuel our bodies. The third principle is Shwananidrā, which means alertness like a dog's sleep. I know, that sounds like a total contradiction, doesn't it? But it's actually about mastering the art of active rest. We have all seen this. A dog can look completely passed out, just gone. But the second you whisper the word walk or treat, its eyes pop open. Its body's resting, but its mind stays receptive, totally ready to spring into action. So what this teaches us is how to avoid that modern cycle of being hyper-exhausted and then just crashing into a complete mental shutdown. Instead, we can cultivate a mind that rests but stays curious, ready to soak up knowledge from anywhere. A conversation, a documentary, even just a passing observation. And next, we have Alpahāri, which is all about moderation in what we eat. And this isn't just about your physical health. It's a core principle for mental clarity. It's a simple truth we have all experienced. A really heavy meal leads to a sluggish body and a foggy brain, right? That's because food is a direct signal to our nervous system. So a disciplined diet creates the foundation for a disciplined mind. It's that simple. And you guessed it, modern science backs this up 100%. We know that sugar highs and heavy carbs lead to these massive glucose spikes that will inevitably crash your attention span. The bottom line is this: what you put on your plate directly affects your ability to think, period. Okay, let's do a quick recap of the path so far. First, we have Kākachesta. That's the crow's consistent effort. Second, Bakadhyāna, the crane's laser-like focus. Third, Shwananidrā, the dog's alert rest. And fourth, Alpahāri, a diet for a clear mind. Now for the final principle, the one that channels the power for this entire system. This last piece of the puzzle is all about rewiring the very energy source of our brain, channeling our most powerful drives towards our most important goals. The fifth and final principle is Brahmachārī. Now, this word is often translated really narrowly, but its deeper meaning is about the mastery of our life force. It's about learning to channel our powerful, emotional, creative, and even our romantic energies into our work and learning. And this brings us full circle, right back to dopamine. Neuroscience actually shows us that the intense drive and focus we feel in a romantic pursuit is fueled by the exact same chemical that can power incredible creativity, deep research, and unstoppable ambition. The key is learning how to redirect that powerful stream of energy instead of just letting it leak out into a million distractions. So when you put it all together, what do you have? You have a complete neurobehavioral toolkit. The crow gives you consistency. The crane gives you selective focus. The dog gives you active rest. A light diet sustains your energy. And finally, discipline transforms your deepest desires into your greatest power. You know, in a world that is constantly trying to pull us into the shallow end, this ancient code is like a rescue rope thrown across thousands of years. It is a proven framework for rewiring your brain for deep focus and meaningful work. So the only question left is, are you going to grab it?